Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Who'd you sit? Yeah. Let's juice. Easy money. Previously on Kimba TV. Like all of these are kind of levels of interest. So you have a single print there, single print here, single print here, and then these are even a little bit stronger because you have naked point of controls. So what does it do first would be kind of my like check mark. Does it sweep this, but not this one? And so now we're gonna leave it like this. Then maybe I think this is the one that we would look for the long. If we keep it like this and we start to do this, then I think this one comes in to play. And then maybe that's when we do something like that. So it just depends on which side. Are you serious? Are you serious?
I'm juicing.
Hey, who'd you shin? Who'd you shin? Who'd you shin? Who'd you shin? Ladies and gentlemen, who the fuck juicing? And I asked y'all, did I not? How many of you guys are going to take the RTH gap play? Opens up to the downside, we long. Opens to the upside, we short. Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you believe? Do you have your levels, ladies and gentlemen? Pixel. Uh-oh, Pixel on Coinbase. Kachuya! Y'all know what it is? How long have we had that line, chat? How long have we had that line, chat? In the screenshots from months ago. Kachuya! All right, if you don't know what the fuck is going on, make sure you're in the Discord, boy. Make sure you're in the Discord, my boy. Kachuya! What do you think? What do you think, Lions? Everybody good to go? Everybody know where we're gonna long?
Shout out Kimbo.
Everybody know what we doing because we juicing like a motherfucker, boy. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Kachuya! Ladies and gentlemen, do you believe in the math? 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 Quit playing with me. Quit playing with me. How many of y'all were here when I was talking about, oh man, I wish I didn't shave so hard. I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have taken so much TP right there. I mean, goddamn. Talk to me, Shay. Doganigu says maybe small recap. Yeah, but you, what do you need exactly? What's your question? Yeah, are you caught up on yesterday's highlights and yesterday's stream and at least the YouTube? Because I'm not going to be able to recap the whole day. So a lot of this has to do with being able to follow the narrative. I can't just give you levels, because if you didn't see how it reacted and how we got that pixel perfect top, I mean, if you don't know how I drew this box before it got there, you're gonna have a really hard time understanding why I might draw my box here or here. And you know, just like how I took the short when it happened and planned for it, and I told you guys, some people didn't take the short there when it was an opportunity to take it. I could tell you I'm gonna long here, but if you don't know why or how, you're probably gonna miss it too. So exclamation YouTube, exclamation rewind. I don't know if you understand how I'm coming up with my levels. The juice is the juice. But do you have a specific question? So the first thing that I always talk about is make sure you have levels marked to the upside and levels marked to the downside. Pretty much all day yesterday, I told you guys, how many of you guys, if there is a bearish gap, you're going to play the short. And when I said that, I said, make sure you know where your TPs are. And just like yesterday, how we had a gap and we longed, I figured out where I wanted to shave and I did it. And I also figured out where I would maybe be able to find resistance. So I showed y'all how I would play the gap. So you got to be able to show me that you know what you're doing here. Gap, you short. You're in the short. Where is your stop loss and profit? Where is your level of something like this? Maybe the real juice is that you guys just need to do a better job preparing for some of you guys. You know, but you would have already been thinking about TPs for the short if you were thinking about the RTH gap play. Hopefully, I harassed the shit out of you guys long enough to do that yesterday. Zerilyn, you remember when I was talking about all this yesterday? Be prepared. Are you ready? This is exactly what I'm talking about, Zerilyn. So there really shouldn't be like this fumbling around of, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Where should I TP my short? Where am I thinking about hedging along? It's already too late. Unfortunately, not trying to be like a gatekeeping dickhead, but it is already too late. And the real objective thing that you have to realize is, why the fuck did I not prepare all day yesterday? What the fuck was I doing? That would be my question. All right. Time Raccoon says, I closed short. Was it too early? If it was your plan to do so, no. You still have all the single prints that we talked about, and you have the gap. If you want to have the long workout here, this swing fail, then you need to close back above that that brown line. If you want that low to be the clean. Okay? So it's hard to tell. I would always say, whether you're longing or shorting Bitcoin, you're longing or shorting S&P. You know that tomorrow is FOMC minutes, right? Sounds good. So no, I don't. For me, I'm not closing anything yet, but because I haven't even seen a structural change. You see? So the same way that I shaved and closed the long yesterday, I will do the same thing to the downside. I'm going to wait for 30-minute candle closes. I've got levels identified. I showed this earlier too, but you remember this? Do you remember this line? This line has been shared on Discord for months. You can go back to the Discord posts from like weeks ago, and I'm talking about, oh shit, it bounced here. Oh shit, it found resistance here. Oh shit, it found resistance here. Oh shit, it found resistance. Oh shit, it found support. So for me to get bullish again, I need to see this get back outside of this. This is really big point of control. You know, it could pump, but I need to see it not get rejected there. So I have levels identified, and I know what would make me bullish or bearish. If you think that it's already bullish and you want to close, go for it. All I care about is that you prepared and you planned and you didn't emotionally close it, because that's just as bad as opening a trade emotionally. So if you prepared and you planned enough where you can let your logical side of the brain make decisions and not get got, then you won. You know, but even if you made money on the short and you closed it because they got you emotionally, then you kind of lost. It's not really about the money. Stop the music, stop the music, stop the music. How we doing? Do you bereave? Do you bereave, chat? Stabedi says, you're from the future. This was talked about yesterday. It's math. because I might end up with a 95.5 long. You feel me? I don't know if we're gonna dip to the 94. You remember when I talked about the 94.3, 94.5, 94.4? That's the 7.5, right? We can see that there's also a swing fail possibility here. That's why I have the brown lines, right? So it's really just about being prepared. I promise you, Stabedi, some motherfucker tomorrow or on Thursday or Friday gonna talk about, yo, how did you get that 95.5 pixel perfect bottom long, bro? And how are you juicing it to 105, bro? That's a $10,000 move, bro. It's gotta be testnet. Mario was right. This has got to be fake. You know somebody's gonna show up on Thursday talking about why are you longing 95.5? Whether you wanted to short. So there's a couple of things from yesterday that I really would want everybody to make sure that they're on top of. One is you got to know what a bad high and a bad low looks like, right? Chat, 100%. Would you agree with me? Are you saving your ass if you know how to look for bad highs and bad lows? You got to learn how to do that, right? You don't need me to tell you what the probability is that it's going to get swept. You can see for yourself based off of the sample size that you get to see. All right. So you got to know what a bad high and a bad low is. Okay. You got to know what a swing fail pattern looks like and also how to play it. So what do I mean by how to play it? Well, you can either market smash at the fail level. Okay. You can take the golden pocket getting turned into resistance, right? Like how I do. You can draw it like this, or you can draw it like this. So you had a short opportunity here, and just in case you fucked all of that up or missed it, you had a short opportunity at RTH market open. All right. So there's a couple of things that as long as you know what you're doing, you don't need me to hold your hand. Okay, bad low, bad high, swing fail pattern. How do you play a swing fail pattern? And then also RTH. All right, what you think? So if you miss the short, you miss the short. I'm already planning and thinking about the long. All right, so I have levels identified. I know where the untapped single prints and point of controls are. Yes. I've got fibs identified. I know where VWAP is. I'm going to be looking at open interest. And I'm just waiting for my levels. So I told you guys about the 96, 95, or even if we get lucky enough, the 94 levels yesterday, yeah? So for me, none of this is surprising. In fact, I am euphoric like a motherfucker. You know, I'm up about 700K between my two accounts just on MEXC. You guys can see me on the leaderboard. So combine the two sub accounts, I'm up like 700, 750K on the short. And the best part is that, I mean, forget the short, but feeling really good about TPing aggressively on the long, even though yesterday I wasn't really down, right? I'm really excited about having an opportunity to long it if it is going to go up to 105, 106, right? So I'm not going to get getting bearish at 95 or 96 or 94. You know what I mean? Just like how I didn't get got and get bullish up there. You feel me? So I challenge you guys, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you have levels identified to the upside. Make sure you have levels identified to the downside. Have a plan, feel prepared, and then let's get after it. All right. 196 says Lion King on YouTube can see live trading stream. Yeah, you don't have to be a VIP to see the 100K to 1 mil challenge, my boy. Everybody can see it. Do you believe in the math? Chat, all I want to know is, do you believe? No, for real. Do you believe? Hey, I have levels identified. So if it wants to swing fail, I already have it. Okay. So 15 minutes on the 30-minute candle close. I would like the further one down. Okay. But no surprises. You feel me? How many of y'all are starting to bereave? How many of y'all are starting to bereave in the math? Am I just making shit up on the fly, chat? Am I just making shit up on the fly, chat? Or do you feel like this is something that, hey man, if Kimba's dumbass can do it, I can do it? Am I doing anything that complicated? Am I pulling out theoretical quantum physics, chat? Tros de Quanium says 0.5 pixel. Indeed it is, boy. Yes, sir. No surprises. I don't know if it's the 0.5 that is reacting or if it's the swing fail though. So, yeah, that's why we marked it that way. That's why we have that. So, yeah, no surprises. Yeah, man. So I'm just kind of chilling, but let me know if you guys have any questions though. Bear Like, you good? Dr. Sanea, you good? Samurai TV, Yanni Boy, Sophia, Burbeezy. Sophia, I'm making it dead ass simple for you. Okay? If there's a hidden CVD bull div, if bottom shorters start to come in, whether it's the 94.3, 95.3, or the 95.8, and if there is a structural edge, like a swing fail pattern, okay, or a failed auction, okay, and the bottom is a good low. If it's a bad low, then it's gonna be like tomorrow where I will probably be patient, okay? I'm not gonna long the 7.5 retracement. You know, all the same shit that we did yesterday, I will just do in reverse. All right, Sophia, but whether it's 94.3, I'm giving you a layup right now, whether it's 94.3, which is the 7.5, this is derivatives, by the way, whether it's 95.3, which is 6.6, or 95.8, which is the 6.18, whether it's the VWAP, okay? Regardless of the level, if I get structural edge like a SFP or a failed auction, and if it's a good low, meaning that there's a good buying tail, okay, then most likely I'm in that long. All right, Sophia? And there's 3-4 different ways that you can get in that long with me if you would like to. There's the blind limit entry for where the SFP would happen, okay? And you're gonna use ATR or some sort of quantifiable, but whatever would be acceptable for you as the risk reward, because you know exactly how much your position size would be, so you can easily calculate if this is where my hard stop is, this is how much I'm gonna lose. As long as you're okay with that, set it, but that's the most aggressive. The next one is you wait for the wick to happen and then you market smash or post only limit into the sweep level after the wick is formed, and that wick is the defined stop loss, okay? You can wait for the first 30-minute candle, the second 30-minute candle, or you could do what I do, and you can, in this case, you would expect the golden pocket that should be resistance to get flipped into support. So you want it to penetrate up through, pull back, and on the golden pocket retracement bullish retest, that's when you can take the long attempt. Your stop loss will be the previous 30-minute structure low. If you don't want to take that one, then you can wait for the structure change. And so whether it's a failed auction or whatever, it's going to make a higher high and change that previous high, and you take the bullish retest of the previous resistance. Okay? So I don't care what you end up doing. I just want you to be prepared for all the different ways in which you might try to take a long. And if you can do that from start to finish, you can apply that to, for example, right now. Okay, so I might be saying to you right now, hey, I don't have bottom shorters trapped. Hey, I don't have the CVD divergence that I want. Hey, I don't know if S&P is truly bullish or not. So I might not be in a short or a long right now, and I'm not but there is a way in which we could play this and chase the long. Okay? So for me, you got to do the same thing. Like for me, this is kind of like that yellow line is really the level that bulls would have to kind of, turn back into support to really break out. Alrighty, and do it kind of like how we did yesterday. So yesterday we did the gap play and the primary play was long. So we were responsibly shaving on the long and we were patient and waited and made sure we had edge to take. I mean, look how long this took. Okay, to get exactly what we wanted, right? For the short. So, I'm going to be looking at stuff like this now and thinking, okay. I mean, you heard me? So do the same thing. The primary runner was the long yesterday. Today, gap play. Primary runner is the short. So responsibly shave, and also be patient about the next setup. And do you, and just make sure that you're prepared and planned out. That's all I care about. I don't give a shit if you're longing or shorting. You know that. I'm rooting for you. All right? And longers, like how many people are already in longs? You can't lose, right? I don't know how you would have played this, or maybe you're it's the like the pullback. So if it really is a swing fail, it can't lose blank.
He just told us to be prepared.
So it already tapped the golden pocket, you heard? So maybe some of you guys are in a long from that blue line. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm rooting for you. Just the most important thing is make sure you have your own plan and you're always executing your own thing, because I'm gonna do me. I want y'all to do you as well. It's your money, so let's juice. We good? Hey, let's go, Roth, for Doce. Let's go, Sophia, let's go. Sophia says, I'm already in a long from yesterday. I'm going to fuck around and do a little bit of Warzeezy, eat some Oreos. But for the most part, I'm going to just set alerts and, move on with my life.
He just told us to be prepared.
You heard? Hey, Blade, you know what I mean? What about you? You good? Sunny Reptilian says, I am certified juicing. Fantastic, man. Any questions before we boot up a little Warzeezy? Kisoric says, I was just curious if a red candle with larger positive delta is meaning that orders are being absorbed. Yeah, I mean, it depends which way the divergence is visually forming as well. But yes, you don't want it to be if you're betting that the price is going to go up or down and you want the open interest to help you, you want the open interest to be open interest delta to be positive, because that means that there's inflow, there's liquidity coming in, that new positions are opening. You don't want people getting stopped out, which means that they're leaving, the money is leaving the market. Right? So if you were like longing and you were bullish, you don't want the price to be going up while open interest delta is going down. You don't want open interest delta to be negative. So the thing that what you want is open interest delta to be positive, whichever way that you're betting for. Yeah, but we'll see it live, man. We'll see it live, man. How many people already in longs? Anybody already in longs? How we doing, y'all? All right, let's lock in, man. So if I kick it with you guys for another 3-4 hours, how many hands up if you rocking and rolling with me all the way through, just in case we get that live, you know? Is there anybody that's hanging around and has no fucking idea what we're trying to do here? Because that's just fucking stupid. You're wasting your own time. You're wasting my time. If you're kicking it late night, everybody's at least cognizant and aware of what we're trying to make a little bit of money, right, ladies and gentlemen? No, we're playing Warzone for sure, Lua Bumbua, but I want to make sure that, like, if there's a hidden CVD bull div and there's a bunch of bottom shorts that come in and it's a swing fail or a failed auction, or maybe it's a 3 drives, I don't really know, but you know, if there's an opportunity for us to potentially get a really favorable long, you know, or maybe there's a bunch of motherfuckers that want a long, but we're able to collectively say, hey man, there's absolutely no edge to long, and it saves a bunch of people some money. But levels of interest are identified to the upside and downside. Everybody knows where the single prints and CME untapped naked point of controls are, to the upside and downside. Don't want to get too carried away with waiting for a box or you know, stubbornly holding on to a position and watching the P&L dwindling. Everybody shaving, longers and shorters. You guys doing okay? Busy Burl says, I heard you talking about the short. I shorted the bad high. I got stopped out. Okay, that's not a problem at all. In fact, that's a pretty common thing. Okay, so do you know what a bad high is now? And did you hear me talking about the high probability of that getting swept? And do you understand why that selling tail, that huge wick, makes it more bearish than the bad high that we had before? And you're about to see something very similar here, okay? Because these are poor and weak lows. You see how all of these are really close together? Okay? That's kind of unfinished. So you're going to be able to potentially maybe witness another one, okay? And you're going to have thousands of these setups. So even if it doesn't happen and it just like nukes or whatever, you know, whatever. But part of it is structural edge. So if it really is bullish, it's going to do the opposite of that, where it'll grab all the liquidity, but it's going to close above the red line. So if, however low it wants to go, okay, closing above this red line or potentially, you know, one of these other bad or weak lows, this one is like the biggest one though. So it really doesn't matter how low it goes, just like how this one, it doesn't really matter how high it goes. It's just a matter of, does it close below the sweep level, you know? So Busy says it needs to clear the longs and then get out of the box, right? For sure, but Busy Burl, a swing fail pattern is just my preference, my number one preference of a structural edge. If we don't get a swing fail pattern, then do you know what I would be looking for next? Potentially a failed auction. Do you know what that is? If we don't end up with a failed auction because that next bump is a lower low, then I might be thinking a 3 drives, okay? All of that being said, there are elements that make it so this has to be a quick reaction, okay? Because you're in RTH gap. And so what that means is the longer that you spend in that gap, the higher probability you're going to be rotating to the other side. So it's going to make a difference if we open with a bullish or a bearish gap, but we're inside of RTH gap, which means that it's going to be a bearish gap. So this is paused like this right now. Imagine if markets open like here tomorrow. Okay, that means that the gap is like this, which means that, you know, you're looking for it's to go this way, okay, but you're inside of this gap. So what I might be thinking about is open here, clean, close it, and then go. So some of these things, like regardless of what it does tonight, you know, if it opens like here, you know, or here outside, it's different. I hope that makes sense. Yeah. So if anything, brother, you definitely want to be here to see where the fuck RTH gap is at. Are you looking for a long? Did you hear me talking about the 100% bullish scenario? So do you see how on this is RTH? You know what RTH is, right? On the bottom right corner. On the bottom right corner, you can go electronic or regular on CME, right? You know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? Do you see this top? You see how on RTH it did not clean that top, which means there's a high chance it's going to come back and clean it. That's confluence for a long, okay? So that means that in the next couple hours, okay, before RTH opens, it would be funny for ETH, just like how ETH cleaned it, but RTH didn't. It would be dope to get this cleaned one more time, okay, during ETH. And what that means is RTH opens with a gap to the bullish side. So it's paused here. It opens higher. So maybe here, that's your gap. Dip your toes in and then goes. Okay? But that means that RTH is going to look like this. RTH looks like that up top. So sometimes people ask me, hey, are you going to long this? Are you going to short this? Well, sometimes I have to say that the time will matter. So did that make sense? So the most bullish thing that could happen, that's why I keep like saying shit like, yo, let me kick it for another extra 30 minutes. Let me kick it for an extra hour, you know? And so maybe it does that and it starts to go, right? And then RTH gap opens, look like that. It opens here. This is the gap. Dip your toes in. Just like this, and then go. So that would be like a bullish RTH gap play. Okay? The other one that I talked about would be kind of like the bearish one, where I think it would maybe try to close the whole RTH gap. You know? And like we talked about, like, you know, beyond that level, I don't think I would be looking for longs anymore, because you would be thinking, wow, it really got rejected on some bearish retest bullshit, on some 5th grade TA bullshit. You know, no mames bullshit. And I would be thinking CME gap, or, you know, one of these imbalances, 85, 82, 78, whatever. All right. So that's how I would look at it. But at the end of the day, Busy Burl, have different scenarios like I do, and then see for yourself tomorrow. And see for yourself on Friday and Thursday and next Monday and next Tuesday, next Wednesday. And you're going to start to be able to trust what you've seen on your own with your own 2 eyes. And you're going to be able to have your, you know, bias. Until then, if you're really not sure, just do small positions if you must. Okay, I love Alpezi's questions. Alpezi says, Kimba, when you're playing those dip and goes on the RTH, for example, on a long, are you on the 5-minute and get in when it turns green and closes you long? Yes and no. What I'm looking at isn't really so much if the 5-minute candle closes. As soon as it gets above or below the sweep level, I'm in. So let's say, for example, that I'm looking to take like a market smash or a short on this play, okay? I would be doing something like this is, I know exactly where the high is, okay? So I would mark it as 103.565, and the value area high was 103.575. So I would probably do something, and that includes this, right? And so that data I wouldn't have had before. But so the 103.565, so maybe one tick above, so like 103.570, and I would have it at post only. You know what post only is, right? How easy? So I would have it on post only. I would have it at 103.570. This is CME, by the way, but I would do the same thing on derivatives. Okay. And as soon as it did this, and the first minute it did this, I'm putting in the order. The minute it goes in, I'm putting in the limit order, and that's the stop loss. So it's not, I'm not even waiting for the 5-minute candle close, LPZ. And that's why the concept of, do you really want to miss out on the trade because you're nickel and diming over a fucking couple dollars? Obviously, if you've got a big position, you know, it could be, a couple hundred or a couple thousand. But if you really want to take it, what's the fucking shame in market smashing? You know? So a lot of market makers, they enter via market orders and they get out using limit. That's the baller way to do it. Okay? But it's really, and remember, you can play that. You can always play some sort of a retracement, and you can play the big golden pocket that should turn into support being resistance. Okay, there's lots of different ways that you can play it. A VWAP, most of the time too, LPZ, when I'm trying to get into a short that I missed on a clear SFP, the stop loss is that no matter what. So if you want to try to get in here or get in here or get in here or get in here, obviously when you have like a predefined range low and a range high, you cannot be chasing beyond the 0.5, in my opinion. I don't know if you've started to understand that, but like from every first grader would understand this. But beyond the 0.5, your risk reward is off. So if you're going to chase, you have between that sweep level and here. That's it. Beyond this, you can't chase anymore. I don't know if you understand that or not. So you can chase, and all of your stop loss, it would all be here anyways. And then if it works out, because you're not guaranteed anything, especially when you're looking at like a golden pocket pullback, like you're going to go like something like this, and you're expecting it to perhaps, wow, look at that. That's crazy. But yeah, you don't, you can't short beyond the 0.5. So, that's why like people that are shorting are looking here, and the same way that people that are longing are looking here. But we're all, you see how we all look at the same shit, and so the invalidation or confirmation is pretty much the same, and it's just, whoever wins type of shit, Y'all good? Now, we got a couple options now. Jaya! Yeah! Clip it. That's it right there. That's it right there.